Hi. It's July 10th, 2022. At the end of the day, it's about 7:48 and I'll be getting ready for bed soon cuz I'm old and tired. I just have not been quite myself. And I suppose there's probably the emotional element of my husband's death anniversary today, but there's also just the fact that I just have not been feeling very good. That doesn't make it easy. So, I wanted to catch up on where I was at. I was doing the widow for a whole year, or widow at 1 year, however I phrased it. And I've been talking about the emotional, the financial, and I wanted to talk about the family. After the emotional, I think the family is often one of the hardest parts of losing a loved one. And my situation, of course, is going to be somewhat different because we were expecting him to die from his ailments and not at his own hand. This complicated things quite a bit for our children. They were stunned. They were they still can't get over it. They have a really hard time with the realization of it all. Sometimes we talk about it. Three of them understand what he did and don't hold it against him. One of my children does have anger about it and feels that my husband could have tried harder to get better, or could have tried harder not to let it take him down, the illness. I have to let it go. People have to believe what people have to believe, whether they're your family or not. They have that right. So the other day, after talking with this family member, I just said to myself, I'm not going to go there with that family member anymore. I'm just not going there. We just don't see eye to eye on several things, and that makes it a little harder to talk about and harder to relate to each other, and it's a darn shame. Now, my other children, we can talk about it, and I think one of the common threads for all four children is that they had unresolved issues with Dennis. Dennis could be, as one child said to me, he wasn't just fighting his own demons, Mom. He fought us too. Yes, there was an element, call it mental health if you want, in which, or just personality trait, and he was just starting to relate to his children when he got sick. And so they feel a great emptiness, a void, a part that they will never, ever get to fill. I don't know what to say to them about that. I tell them, write him a letter, even mail it if you have to. Just get out what you want to say. And it's up to them now to take care of that. Two of them are in counseling and two of them are not. So I write on my little write-on wipe-off board to help me with my cues because, I've got noodle brain. I think they felt cheated. They wanted to be there at the end, to hold his hand, to say words to him. I don't know if they can ever grasp it, but he wouldn't have been able to stand it. The sorrow. He said, if I cry, Nikki, I'm going to choke to death. I want to cry desperately, but I just swallow it all back. So I talked about the fact that my husband had obsessive compulsive problems. He wouldn't let go of certain things, events in history, the state of the nation, um, the condition of the world, and those who rule it. So deep mourning, sorrow, trying to comfort your children, trying to help them to see and understand their father's side of it. And I think most of them do understand, and one is just going to keep their opinion of how they feel. He did wrong. So, wrong in that more of the fact that he wouldn't allow any more intervention. He wouldn't try anything new, not even in the natural health department, not anything, not traditional medicine and not natural medicine. So I think the other thing that they're very sorrowful for, and so am I, when I'm playing with Finn, sometimes I say to Finn, your papa would have played ball with you and would have taken you to the park and chased you around. He would have loved to have been a part of your life, and I want you to know that. So I watch Finn grow up, and I'm seeing everything that Dennis is missing out, and I know that my son Mike and Maggie, even the other children, know Dad would have been a great grandfather. He would have been awesome. And it makes everyone sad that he's not here. Holidays feel very empty. They just don't feel quite right. We do our best, but there's almost this cloud that hangs over that drives us and hurts us, and it's just a sorrow that I can't explain. Lost years. And the future grandchildren, it bothers me deeply that if my other children have babies, Dennis won't get to see them, but he was thrilled to death to see Finn and to hold Finn, and he got to see him up until he left. So, dealing with family, and then the whole other side of it, which I haven't written down here. The whole other side is my husband's family and what happened there. Excuse me for leaning over. I wanted to put my little sign down. There'll never be a relationship between me and them, and I sincerely doubt, I know for sure between Rachel and them, they'll never be. They never accepted her as one of the children because she was adopted by Dennis and not his natural child, and two of them actually had the audacity to say that to her as a little girl. Well, you're not really a Page. These were really sick people, and there's a reason we were estranged from them. So I'm not really going to get into that because it doesn't matter, because the word former in-law makes them nothing to me now. And I know that my sons really don't want to go in that direction. They don't care to. Maybe their Uncle Jim, their father's brother, who has a lot of stories about their father, if he's still alive when, they ever get back up to New England, maybe they'll get in touch with him. But I know that the rest of them, I think it really sincerely hurt them that only Jim contacted my children to tell them he was sorry, and he sent them each money. And none of the aunts, I don't think any of them contacted my sons that I know of. 4 of them. And not a word. So, family is complicated, and when death is, introduced into the equation, it gets even more complicated. There's going to be fingers pointed and blaming and all of that stuff. And you know, I'm so not there. So done with that. My family, both of my parents have long since passed, and I have 3 brothers, 2 of them that I'm completely estranged from, and one of them that, you know, we write to each other through email a couple times a year. And not very close, and that's okay. We were once, and that's all right. You know, we had a very dysfunctional family, and it takes its toll. It definitely destroys relationships when dysfunction is never addressed and dealt with. So that's what I wanted to talk about regarding the family and death. And at 1 year, is it easier? I don't know. I can't really say if it's easier for them. I think we all get those moments of great, deep sadness in the depth of our soul for his being missing. And, you know, that's all I really have to say about this. Now I have to call my son Michael back because I just saw it pop up while I was doing my video on this, and I gotta see if he just needs to talk. Sometimes my kids call just to talk, and that really warms my heart and does my soul a world of good. So I'm gonna do that next, and I don't know when I'll publish this, either tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. And then the next day I would like to talk about, what did I write? The years to come. And that's what I'm going to talk about at being a widow at 1 year. Thank you so much for watching. It just thrills me that so many of you find help and hope in my stories. That's really what I started this all for. And I'm so glad that it continues to be that. Thank you so much, and, you know, like and share and whatever. Okay, bye.